Hello and welcome back to another Euro Fantasy video. Today we are going to be looking over the best Limitless team for Matchday 2 and how you can put together your own Limitless team by going over the best fixtures, the best clean sheet odds and the best chances of goals in Matchday 2. Now we are going to be using the same graphics as the wildcard video that came out earlier this morning, so if you haven't seen that yet, make sure to go and check that one out. We are going to be catering this obviously a bit more to the more expensive teams, as we want to be using having the best use out of the Limitless and using that budget as good as possible. So as you can see on the screen here, we have all the best fixtures. Again, similar to how the wildcard video went, these are all of the better fixtures that we want to be targeting from. Obviously, using the Limitless, we want to be looking at more of the expensive teams. So if we're to get rid of all the teams with cheaper players, we are going to be left with these four teams, and that's Croatia, Germany, Belgium and Portugal. Now obviously we want to be targeting these teams as much as possible and targeting their more expensive players. So that's going to be for Croatia, your likes of Vardiol in defence, your likes of Stanisic at 5 million and more. For Germany, you're obviously going to be wanting your Musialas, your Wirtz, all of those expensive guys. Belgium the same, Kevin De Bruyne, someone who wasn't too popular in Matchday 1, will definitely be coming in for Matchday 2 for that game against Romania. Lukaku, obviously partnering him as well. Then you can go for someone like Castagne in defence. Obviously we have been looking at the cheaper options like Fass and De Kuiper, but I believe Castagne obviously will be the most nailed in the defence and kind of offers a bit more of an attacking threat than someone like Fass does. Then of course Portugal as well against Turkey, you get Ronaldo, you get Cancelo and you get Bruno Fernandes. Now next up we're looking at the goal odds, and obviously this is the expected amount of goals that each team is supposed to score in Matchday 2, and we've got the top 5 here, and again this is obviously where we're going to be wanting to get our attackers and our attacking midfielders. Now Portugal leads the way, and once again that means we're going to be looking for the likes of Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes up front. Germany in its second up against Hungary, again Wirtz, Musiala, Havertz, those are going to be the three, as well as Gundogan as another potential option. Belgium once again, maybe Trossard if you wanted to go for one of the cheaper options, but of course De Bruyne and Lukaku are going to be the main two up front that we're going to want. Then for England, even though they are playing Denmark, which is considered as a red fixture on the fixture ticker, still expected to score 2.2 goals, so you could go for the likes of Bellingham and Kane there. We are really going to, even though it is still considered a red fixture, you are really going to be wanting probably an England player, because on the second day this week we only have Slovenia against Serbia. We've also got England against Denmark, and then Holland and France play each other. So realistically we probably want to be avoiding the Holland and France players, and that's going to be like your Mbappes and stuff, which leaves us with a captaincy option from either Denmark, England, Serbia or Slovenia. So I think having one England attacker is going to be worthwhile, and whether that's Kane or Bellingham, obviously that is totally up to you. And then of course France still expected to score 2 goals against the Netherlands. And then for our clean sheet odds, again this is where the defenders we're going to want to get from each of these teams, and Croatia is leading the way again with 52% up against Albania. And again, like I mentioned, there's not really a lot of good Croatian players to go for, and there's not really much we can take from Matchday 1 because obviously they get beat 3-0 to Spain. But the likes of Vardiol wasn't fantastic for ball recoveries in the first match, but has been pretty decent in the build up to the Euros. The same as Stanisic, who plays at right back. Obviously more potential for attacking returns from him, and his ball recoveries were looking pretty decent as well. So you could go look for those kind of players, and the goalkeeper Livakovic looks like a pretty decent option as well. From Germany, again Mittelstadt looking like one of the better options. I think even though he is one of the more budget players, he still is one that you should have in a Limitless team, because even if it was like 5-6 million, he still looks like some really good value, because he gets some ball recoveries and he has really good attacking potential as well, and definitely looks like the best choice out of all the Germany defenders. For Belgium, again a couple of options in there. I think for De Kuiper, For match day 2, he's maybe not as nailed as he was for match day 1, because we are expecting a lot of the Belgian defenders back. So there is the likes of Wout Faes, who you could go for at 4 million, or my favourite pick, as I mentioned at the start of the video, would be Castagne at 5 million. I think he is the best and most nailed Belgian defender that we can get, and obviously on a Limitless the budget doesn't matter, so at 5 million I would be looking to go there. Serbia and Czech Republic's really not too many players I don't think I would recommend from there. Even though they have decent clean sheet odds, there's just not really a lot of players. I think maybe for these guys you look at the goalkeepers, but obviously on a Limitless you're able to go for any of the more expensive guys. So these guys are really more for people not on any chips at all for match day 2, or wild cards where we're really looking to save some budget. And then over the other side we've got the likes of Ukraine, so maybe Lunin in goals could be an option. Austria, in terms of defenders, probably not really too many good options. England, of course, you go for Gehi, picked up a lot. I believe it was 9 ball recoveries he picked up in match day 1, so he could be a decent option, but I don't know if England will keep a clean sheet against Denmark again. It's still considered a red fixture. Switzerland look pretty decent. Again, Akanji looks like a really, really nice option at 5 million, picked up 11 ball recoveries, and he could be a really nice one. There's also Widmer at 4.5, then obviously the Portugal defenders as well, mainly Cancelo would be the one we're looking at there. So this is the team that I've put together if I was on the Limitless chip for match day 2. And again, as we said, Portugal have the highest chance of scoring the most goals, so we obviously need to get the best triple up for Portugal, and that's going to be Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes and João Cancelo. Now if you wanted to triple up on the attack, I guess someone like Rafael Leao could be a pretty decent option if you really wanted to go for some differential picks. I do like the idea of having a Portugal defender in there because the clean sheet odds were okay for Portugal, not fantastic. They were the 10th best for match day 2, but I think Cancelo's attacking returns potential do kind of trump a lot of the other attackers, plus it leaves you more space for going for other midfielders and attackers as well. Also got the best Belgian triple up as well with Lukaku, De Bruyne and Castagne. Again, as I said, I do think Castagne would be the best defender if money wasn't involved for Belgium, especially for match day 2 with all the rotation that could happen in the defence. Then of course De Bruyne and Lukaku as well. Obviously that triple to Germany as well, and this could really be whatever you wanted depending on who your preferences are, whether that's Wirtz, Musiala, maybe Gundogan, maybe even Havertz if you wanted to use a striker spot on him. But for me, I think this triple up is the best one you can get. Then we've got the Kane and Sudakov partnership. Now this can really be flipped to Dovbyk and Bellingham, or if you wanted maybe a different England midfielder, whether it was Saka or Foden, you could potentially do that as well. But I've got Kane and Sudakov in here first, and that is really because of the captaincies. So it depends what kind of way you want to do your captains. This is the captains that I've set out, and that's going to be Kane in day 2 and Sudakov in day 3. I think you could probably argue that Dovbyk would be the better captaincy in day 3. Depends if you wanted to say that Bellingham would be a better captaincy than Kane in day 2. So like I said, a bit of a 50-50. Obviously Kane is on the penalties for England, but Dovbyk's obviously on the penalties for Ukraine as well. So it's a bit of a 50-50. It depends which striker midfielder partnership you want to go for. Then obviously we've got Wirtz in day 1 and Ronaldo in day 4. So that is the way we are looking. In terms of Croatia, obviously the best chance of clean sheet odds. I've got double Croatian defence in there, and I've chosen to go for Stanisic, and I've chosen to go for Livakovic in goals. Again, over a 50% chance of keeping a clean sheet against Albania. Stanisic has the attacking potential as the right back. Done really well in day 1 on match day 1 for ball recoveries, and has had a history of having some pretty decent ball recoveries as well over the friendlies and stuff before the tournament started. Then Livakovic as well. Obviously we need a goalkeeper. Also got Akanji in there, picked up 11 ball recoveries in match day 1, which was fantastic, and even though they conceded to Hungary, he still picked up 5 points, which again is essentially equivalent to picking up an assist with those extra 3 points. So he is a really, really nice option, and Switzerland had a pretty decent chance of a clean sheet. I believe it was about 37%, which isn't amazing, but He's still in the top 10, and I think he could do really well for ball recoveries, even if they don't keep a clean sheet. So that is the team that I've made for the Limitless chip. If you have any changes or anything you would add to this, make sure to leave it in the comments. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and make sure to check out the wildcard video that came out earlier this morning if you are maybe 50-50 on which chip you want to use. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.